Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled Soul Food versus the Bread of Life. Source, Wikipedia.org. Soul food is a variety of cuisine originating in the southeastern United States and from African American culture. It also has Native American influences. The so-called African Americans will be classified as Judites, according to the scriptures, and the so-called Native American Indians will be classified as Gadites, according to the scriptures. It is common in areas with a historical presence of African Americans and has been a cultural staple among the African American and American Deep South communities for centuries. The expression soul food originated in the mid-60s when soul was a common word used to describe African American culture. And all 12 tribes are soulful individuals. Why? Because our Heavenly Father is soulful, as well as our big brother Yahushua is soulful. Origins. The term soul food became popular in the 60s and 70s in the midst of the Black Power movement. One of the earliest written uses of the term is found in the autobiography of Malcolm X, which was published in '65. Leroy Jones published an article entitled Soul Food and was one of the key proponents for establishing the food as a part of the Black American identity. Those who had participated in the Great Migration found within soul food a reminder of the home and family they had left behind after moving to unfamiliar northern cities. Soul food restaurants were Black-owned businesses that served as neighborhood meeting places where people socialized and ate together. The origins of recipes considered soul food can be traced back to before slavery, as African, Native American, and European foodways have influenced it. Many of the foods integral to the cuisine originate from the limited rations given to slaves by their planters and masters. And these planters and masters are Edomites, the so-called white man. Slaves were typically given a peck of cornmeal and 3-4 pounds of pork per week, and from those rations come soul food staples such as cornbread, fried catfish, barbecue ribs, chitterlings, and neck bones. And that goes to show you that Israelites are the salt of the earth. It's no different than giving a Jake a basketball or a baseball or a football. Okay? It has been noted that enslaved Africans, Israelites, were the primary consumers of cooked grains and sweet potatoes for a portion of U.S. history. Slaves needed to eat foods with high amounts of calories to balance out spending long days working in the fields. This led to time-honored soul food traditions like frying foods, breading meats, and fish with cornmeal, and mixing meats with vegetables. Eventually, this slave-invented style of cooking started to get adopted into Southern culture as slave owners gave special privileges to slaves with cooking skills. Impoverished whites and blacks in the South cooked many of the same dishes stemming from soul tradition, but styles of preparation sometimes vary. Certain techniques popular in soul and southern cuisines, example giving, frying meat, and using all parts of the animal for consumption, are shared with ancient cultures all over the world, including China, Egypt, and Rome. Introduction of soul food to northern cities such as Washington, D.C. also came from private chefs in the White House. Many American presidents have desired French cooking and have sought after black chefs, Israelites given their Creole background. Prior to having a black chef in the White House, the Washingtons had a white chef. They did not like the white chef's cooking, however, and replaced the chef with an African American one. So the fucking Washingtons fired an Edomite chef and replaced that Edomite chef with Jake. Why? Because we are the salt of the earth. Okay? Native American influence, Israelites. Southern Native American culture, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, Seminole is an important element of Southern cuisine. From their culture came one of the main staples of the Southern diet, corn, either ground into meal or limed with an alkaline salt to make hominy, in a Native American process known as nixtamalization. Corn was used to make all kinds of dishes, from the familiar cornbread and grits to liquors such as moonshine and whiskey, which is still important to the Southern economy, and the reason why the Native American has influence or influences within soul food is because they are Israelites. Many fruits are available in this region. Blackberries, muscadines, raspberries, and many other wild berries were part of Southern Native American diets as well. Both African and Native Americans of the American South supplemented their diets with meats derived from the hunting of native game. What meats people ate depended on seasonal availability and geographical region. Common game included possums, rabbits, and squirrels, and these animals are classified as unlawful animals in the scriptures. Livestock adopted from Europeans in the form of cattle and hogs were kept, and hogs are unlawful according to the scriptures. When game or livestock was killed, the entire animal was used. Aside from the meat, it was common for them to eat organ meats such as brains, livers, and intestines. And you can see right now that soul food is not really soul food. Soul food is flesh food. Okay, soul food satisfies the flesh. However, it kills you at the same time. Only the bread of life can satisfy the spirit. Okay? The bread of life, which is Yahweh Shai, is the real soul food. Not this bullshit we've been taught. When game or livestock was killed, the entire animal was used. Aside from the meat, it was common for them to eat organ meats such as brains, livers, and intestines. This tradition remains today in hallmark dishes like chitterlings, commonly called chitlins, which are fried small intestines of hogs, liver mush, a common dish in the Carolinas made from hog liver, and pork brains and eggs. The fat of the animals, particularly hogs, was rendered and used for cooking and frying. Many of the early European settlers in the South learned Native American cooking methods, and so cultural diffusion was set in motion for the Southern dish. Sources: Wikipedia.org, and this is a list of soul foods and dishes. Meat dishes: chicken fried steak, a breaded cutlet dish consisting of a piece of steak coated with seasoned flour and pan fried. Fatback, fatty, cured, salted pork, especially the first layers of the back of the pig, primarily used in slow cooking as a seasoning. Unlawful. Fried chicken, fried fish, any of several varieties of fish, including catfish, unlawful. Whiting, porgies, bluegill, sometimes battered in a seasoned cornmeal, adapted from method of frying chicken. Okay, and you're supposed to follow the dietary law to eat fish if you are an Israelite. Okay, and if you are not familiar with certain fish, and to make sure that fish is lawful, you need to go to Leviticus the 11th chapter. That's your dietary guide. Ham hocks. Typically smoked or boiled ham hocks generally consist of much skin, tendons, and ligaments and require long cooking through stewing, smoking, or braising to be more palatable. The cut of meat can be cooked with greens and other vegetables or in flavorful sauces. Hog jaw, cured and smoked cheeks of pork. It is not actually a form of bacon, but it is associated with the cut due to the streaky nature of the meat and the similar flavor. Hog jaw is a staple of soul food, and this bullshit is unlawful. It's flesh food, and flesh food promotes death. Hog maw, the stomach lining of a pig. It is a very muscular and contains no fat. As a soul food dish, hog maw has often been coupled with chitterlings, which are pig intestines. Offal, such as chitterlings or chitlins, the clean and prepared intestines of pigs, and nothing about this shit is clean. Slow cooked and also often eaten with a vinegar-based sauce or sometimes parboiled, then battered and fried. Oxtails, that's lawful. Pickled pig's feet, pork as a meat dish such as ham and bacon, and for the flavoring of vegetables and legumes, gravies, and sauces. Pork ribs, poultry, giblets such as chicken liver and gizzards. Picture is a chicken gizzard dish, and that's unlawful. Turkey, vegetables and legumes. You have black-eyed peas, collard greens, hoppin' john, a dish served in the southern United States consisting of black-eyed peas and rice with chopped onion and sliced bacon seasoned with a bit of salt. Okra, sweet potatoes, turnip greens. All right, and when you eat these vegetables, you know they're lawful, but when you put unlawful meats within these dishes, then that whole dish has become or became unlawful. Bread and grains, cornbread, grits, hoe cake, and a lot of these hoes eat hoe cake. Hush puppies, desserts, cobbler, pie, sweet potato pie, banana pudding, red velvet cake. Alright, so all of these foods are classified or deemed as soul food. Health concerns from eating soul food. Source again is wikipedia.org, and it states soul food prepared traditionally and consumed in large amounts can be detrimental to one's health. So why fucking eat it? Alright, because this soul food is nothing but fucking flesh food. It does nothing for the spirit. It only promotes death. Opponents to soul food have been vocal about health concerns surrounding the culinary tradition since the name was coined in the mid-20th century. Soul food has been criticized for its high starch, fat, sodium, cholesterol, and caloric content, as well as the inexpensive and often low-quality nature of the ingredients such as salted pork and cornmeal. So soul food is a low quality food. In light of this, soul food has been implicated by some in the disproportionately high rates of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, clogged arteries, stroke, and heart attacks suffered by African Americans. Figures who led discussions surrounding the negative impacts of soul food included Dr. Fulton, Dick Gregory, and Elijah Muhammad. An important aspect of the preparation of soul food was the reuse of cooking lard, because many cooks could not afford to buy new shortening to replace what they used. They would pour the liquefied cooking grease into a container. After cooling completely, the grease resolidified and could be used again the next time the cook required lard. So soul food promotes death. The real soul food is located in the book of life. Yahushua is the bread of life, which ultimately makes him the real soul food. He satisfies the spirit. John 6:24. When the people therefore saw that Yahushua was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum, seeking for Yahushua. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when camest thou hither? Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perish, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him hath the Most High the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do that we might work the works of the Most High? Yahushua answered and said unto them, This is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent. They said therefore unto him, What sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What doest thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Yahushua said unto them, Verily, verily, meaning truly, truly, I say unto you, Moses gave you not the bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you true bread from heaven. For the bread of the Most High is he which cometh down from heaven and give life unto the world. So Yahushua is declaring and manifesting to them that he is the bread of life. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Alright, so at this time frame, Yahushua is telling them that he is the bread of life. He is the real soul food. And if you are the elect, you will be able to receive John 6:29. Yahushua answered and said unto them, This is the work of the Most High, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent. And by believing in Yahushua, you will never hunger or never thirst. Why? Because your spirit has been satisfied. Let's look at that term bread in the Greek.
Strong's G 740, artos.
And this is the point. In John chapter 6, 32 verse 35, Yahushua calls himself as the vine, come from heaven, who containing in himself the source of heavenly life supplies, celestial nutriment to souls that they may attain to life eternal. Yahushua provides spiritual nutrients. Okay? He is the source. Okay? You believe on Yahushua, you will never hunger, you will never thirst. He is the bread of life, which makes him the ultimate soul food. Lord willing, you receive this. Shalom.